It is honestly so great that nobody has found my warehouse full of always fresh, prepared in under 2-minute factor meals. I mean, crime has never been so tasty.
Smells like crime. Is that truffle butter chicken and mushroom risotto?
That's actually exactly what it is.
Damn it, Commissioner. I know you've been embezzling city funds to purchase more factor meals. And on one hand, I get it. They've got delicious breakfast, snack options, and even juices.
It's pretty good.
But on the other hand, Factor isn't even that expensive, especially compared to takeout. Just head to factor75.com and use code BreedingFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor meal, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Now, granted, the offer is only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
I actually did not know that you could head to factor75.com and use code BreedingFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Nor did I know that that offer is only valid for new Factor customers with the code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchases. But it doesn't even matter, okay? I've embezzled way too many funds. Did you know that Factor doubled the size of their menu with double the seafood and protein options? I'm just a man.
I still gotta arrest you.
Well, let me ask you this. How can you arrest me if you're dead? Wait, are you saying that I need to watch and explain all 3 Maniac Cop movies? Are you gonna tear me apart with your maniac undead zombie cop strength? Oh, at least my hunger will be satiated. Oh, okay, I'll go.
You don't smile very much.
You want me to stand here? Okay. Well, we open on a cop, but probably like a maniac cop named Cordell, the most maniac of names. Oh, no. Mad Max was originally called Mad Cordell, but the studio said, no, George Miller, it's too good. It's too perfect. The movie will make too much money. So they changed it to Mad Max. It's a true story. Look it up.
Well, it's perfectly logical.
Anyway, Cordell's manically getting dressed over the credits, and it takes a super long ass time because every time a name pops up, the frame freezes. Like, imagine how long it'd take to get dressed every day if you had to freeze frame every time the news mentioned a proper noun. The Twin Towers were hit. Freeze frame. Can't finish pulling up my pants. 180 seconds later, we watch a woman leaving a bar, which is a thing that Maniac Dave assures me women sometimes do based on all the time he spent watching them from his windowless van using a powerful telescopic lens. Dave then tried to wink at me, but he has no eyelids, so it mostly just looked like a knowing stare.
Sorry.
Anyway, she walks into the night, which is full of lightning and surprisingly large Japanese flags. And ooh, I'm gonna make a note here for a feature film idea: Maniac Japanese Lightning Cop, starring Christopher Lambert. Tagline: ACAB. All cops are batteries.
That's so much simpler.
Did you hear that? That was the sound of me making $1 billion. Anyway. The lady's grabbed by 2 Puerto Rican muggers, which isn't racist because Puerto Rico is a territory of the US. So these muggers are actually as American as a bald eagle making love to an apple pie, but
she's killing them.
She wallops their asses and scrambles away. Interestingly, they continue to pursue her, even though realistically they should just give up, right? Like, she already pounded them once, and surely every step they take pursuing her is another opportunity for her to mug them, or for additional witnesses to see them. Mugging is all about speed, Dave assures me. He's being so assuring today for some reason. Also, shouldn't they go to the hospital to get their asses reattached to them after she walloped them right off? Oh, they probably don't have insurance. They are Americans. God, this movie is so damn patriotic. The lady runs up to a huge cop.
Oh, thank God it's you.
Hoping that he will help her, but he doesn't. Hell yeah, none of that wait until the 3rd act to see the shark Spielberg bullshit. We paid to see a maniac cop, and damn it, we're gonna get to see a maniac cop.
These 2 Puerto Rican guys just trying to mug me.
The next day, the muggers are arrested.
Oh, man. What's the nuts, man?
They're accused of murdering the lady, but Detective Frank here isn't so sure.
I hate the smell of these places.
Good morning.
Because this mortician, who is all business in the front but all party in the back, is like, no, she was killed like hard, like very hard, like maniacally hard.
But the head just pops.
That's an official medical term. I'm a doctor.
It's just flopping.
And Frank's like, no way, these two twig-ass Puerto Ricans who couldn't win a fight against a random lady despite having the element of surprise, those twig-ass bitches couldn't kill a lady's neck this hard. I'm a detective. This is how I talk.
You're trying to tell me two twinks did this?
Then he gives her a little eulogy.
She always had the latest jokes.
Oh, guess she was a big Dr. Jordan Breeding fan then, huh? Here every month, bringing you the latest in jokes, hot off the joke press. So funny, but so scared, like making love to a clown in the dark.
Well.
You must have been so afraid, Cassie.
Sweet Cassie.
I think I need some fresh air.
Elsewhere, a horny couple gets pulled over by a huge silent cop who silently murders the boy with a blade hidden in a billy club. A blade isn't a sharp object, not the half-vampire character played by Wesley Snipes 3 times and by Mahershala Ali none times, despite all of us asking very nicely.
It never happened.
Felt like I needed to clarify that, in case you thought he killed him with 3 DVDs of Blade, the trilogy. But he didn't. It was with a sharp object. Hey, I wonder if this guy's related to the other huge cop. I'm starting to worry that there's a family of huge evil cops visiting the city. The girl does escape, but man, her windshield is ruined.
Safe flat repair, safe flat replace.
P.S. Your car is totaled.
Oh, Frank shares his hunch about the twig-ass Puerto Ricans with the police commissioner, and Frank's like, I bet the killings are from a for-real cop. We should have a psychologist talk to every for-real cop to see if any of them are insane and or hiding some immense girth. Insanity, after all, is stored in height. I should know, I'm 6'5". It doesn't show on camera because I custom built all of my furniture for maximum comfort to make them like really big. We do a lot of like Lord of the Rings camera tricks.
I hate them.
But the commissioner is like, more like we should have you talk to a psychologist because you tried to kill yourself and
You don't smile very much.
You'd be a lot prettier if you smiled.
Frank's like, okay, well, A, shut up, that's mean, and B, how else am I gonna find a huge white man that's over 6 feet tall and...
Enjoys killing.
You know how many of those there are in New York City? Probably like 1 billion, and that's just on Long Island. Only way to find them is with psychiatry and random girth checks. Stop and frisk their girth. Stop and go.
Otherwise, we're looking for a white man well over 6 feet tall, wears a police uniform, doesn't have an alibi. I don't know where to start.
Start there.
The commissioner's like, I don't think it's a cop. Stop saying it's a cop. I hate you. You are hereby officially uninvited to my birthday party this year. And we were getting pizza at a bounce house and everything. And you're on thin ice for next year's birthday, too. Cops do not kill people. And if you keep saying otherwise, I'm gonna shoot you.
As a matter of fact, didn't you try to shoot yourself a couple of years back?
I almost forgot about that.
But Frank meets up with a lady journalist at a bar for, a little romance?
This isn't about romance. It's about murder.
Oh, right, my bad. I've been spending too much time with Dave. The line between love and murder begins to blur after a while. Dave says romance and murder go together like people butter and jelly.
How romantic.
You sure about that?
Anyway, Frank wants her to leak, not on him in a romantic way, but rather leak the information to the public that there's a maniac cop on the loose.
Jesus. Maniac Cop?
Okay, not until they purchase my God's Not Dead sequel script. But also, let's be clear, Frank only has a hunch about this, because I guess that's all it took back in those days. Evidence, witnesses, logic. Real cops called those lady vagina things.
How's that for a tag?
The true measure of a cop was going by his gut and making sure the evidence matched up later. Regardless of whether any of this is even remotely true, warning the public that it is definitely true, basically, is a great idea. Because it'll make regular citizens more inclined to defend themselves from regular cops, soon escalating into an endless cycle of fear and violence as seen in, right now?
Make it bigger than AIDS.
No, don't do that.
Elsewhere again, some musician gets handcuffed by a huge, dare I say, maniac cop. And then smothered and covered in concrete by the maniac Waffle House chef. The ultimate ironic punishment. Ironic because musicians hate being smothered in concrete.
Don't you think?
It's important to note that since I'm the most thorough and meticulous YouTuber on YouTube, I'm reviewing the collector's edition of this movie. That's only available to serious collectors like me. It's not just an FBI sting to build a list of people liable to snap one day and go all Maniac Cop on the population. I don't think.
Cut his balls off.
No, don't do that.
The main difference between this version and the one watched by sheeple is it includes about a half dozen clearly unfinished scenes of the mayor chatting with his aide in various offices and bathrooms, just sort of rehashing the movie for any collectors who maybe fell asleep during pivotal moments earlier.
Let's stay a lookout.
I get why these scenes were cut for the unwashed masses, but for us collectors, it is essential viewing. Although it is difficult to actually view these scenes because all of them look like collectible dog shit. At least when I'm in the bathroom, it's always to advance the plot, and in 4K no less.
Are you gonna make me watch all the Grudge movies to get rid of your grudge?
When I'm pooping in there, you better believe characters are being arced. We're revealing deep parts of my psyche or whatever.
This poop, his marriage is falling apart.
Oh no, a piece of evidence in this poop. After several days, they still haven't caught the Maniac Cop because...
Be sharp.
Really? If he's so smart, then why didn't he make Maniac Detective? Huh?
He may be getting information from inside the...
But it's fine. They'll catch him soon, probably. Either way, everybody here gets paid the same. That night, a woman worries that her distant husband, Jack, might be killing people at random during the evenings because their marriage isn't as strong as his chin.
Makes me feel left out, Jack.
And to be fair, every time Dave and I have a fight, he drowns a musician in concrete.
I'm afraid of him, and I don't know why.
Isn't it ironic?
Sorry.
When Jack leaves, she gets a phone call from an unknown caller that's like, wow.
He went out again, didn't he?
And she's like, stop calling. Also, I'm gonna grab a gun and follow my husband just in case. The gun may also be useful if, hypothetically, he's having an affair, which is statistically about 1 trillion times more likely than that he's secretly a huge maniac murder cop who may or may not be undead. But of course, math remains undefeated, and the only thing Jack's slaying is some pussy! Some cop pussy! That's what the P in NYPD stands for. Talk about pigs in a blanket, am I right? Because they're both cops and they're both in a blanket and they're in each other. That's actually how Pigs in a Blanket, the food, was named. The creator her husband was having an affair, and so she made this food.
And Pigs in a Blanket was born.
Why did you follow me?
Why shouldn't she have followed you, bro? You're actively copulating? You're protecting and serving your dick? You're laying down the law in some pipe? Why shouldn't she follow you? Why are you having an affair?
I wanted to tell you, but I
Used to be a piece of shit.
But she leaves, knocking over a lamp that only had 3 days until retirement. And on her way home, she gets nabbed. The next day, the maid goes to clean the room where Jack and Lover apparently just left the broken lamp on the floor next to Jack's broken valves.
Must have partied it up good in here.
Yeah, real good. So good that Jack's wife is murdered in the bed. Literally, not sexually. I mean, I hope, but she's dead, is my point. At the precinct, the captain in charge of catching the Maniac Cop tells Jack his wife is dead and that he's now the lead suspect. But why? Like to give him a running start? Why are you telling him this? But no, Jack doesn't run, even though Jack's lawyer thinks he did it because after all...
You were seeing a therapist on a regular basis. Come on, a marriage counselor.
The worst kind.
And no cop would ever need marriage counseling unless they were a maniac. And Jack's like, well, I have a great alibi because the only thing I murder is that ass in bed.
I got a witness, okay? Somebody else who was there.
She got a great ass.
But unfortunately, if I told you about who my girlfriend was, it'd be really bad for her. And also, she lives in Canada. You wouldn't know her. But I was having sex with, I wasn't killing people. I was having a lot of sex.
I don't want to bring her into this unless there's no other way.
You mean like from behind?
But Jack decides, okay, if they haven't cleared my name of murder by the end of the week, I will ruin my girlfriend Teresa's career. That's not her name. Teresa's a hypothetical name.
Pal, you need all the help you can get.
In the 80s, this is what passed for chivalry. He's basically 1988 Sir Lancelot, that Jack. Naturally, Frank doesn't think Jack did it because cops never abuse their spouses. 40% of cop marriages are actually ranked the best in the country. Just Google cops 40%. So Frank figures out whose puss Jack was slaying, and he heads down to where she works as a hooker cop, which was the highest rank a female officer could get in the 80s. Someday she was hoping to make hooker detective, but they wouldn't even create that rank until 1980. 1994. Anyway, he wants to ask her some questions. And this is neither here nor there, but she is a terrible hooker cop.
You're not one of those silly men that's dressed like a woman, are you?
You got it, mister. You asked the jackpot question.
She gets immediately clocked as a cop, and she doesn't even do a single pole dance? What?
Can't arrest you for that.
Why was she hired for this job?
Great ass!
You got it, mister.
She's nowhere near as good as the ones who have arrested Dave in the past. She's confronted by Maniac Cop in the alley right as Frank shows up, and together they shoot him a bunch of times. But it is ineffective. And then poof, he disappears like a pig-scented fart in the cold New York City wind.
Was that Shakespeare? I majored in theater.
Teresa debriefs with Frank at a bar because she is a terrible fake hooker and terrible actual cop. And she's like, man, that guy's hands, they were cold. And he wasn't even breathing with his mouth.
We won't put that in our report, huh?
You are incredibly optimistic if you think there's going to be a report about this incident. Best thing to do is to stick to protocol and say you discharged your gun while hunting homeless people for sport. That actually wasn't illegal in New York until 1996. Frank gives her the key to his place in case the Maniac Cop comes back and or if she wants him to teach her any hooker cop pointers, because Frank used to be the best, they say. Did you know that Frank caught Dave twice on the same night? I'd like to hire you for prostitute services. He's like, I'm a cop. He's like, shit. Dave goes around the block, comes back. I would like to, oh no, it's the same guy!
We won't put that in our report, huh?
Damn it, you are too enticing.
His hands were so big.
Teresa admits to Frank that she may have let it slip that she was banging a coworker to another woman cop who walks bad named Sally. Frank thinks she might be the inside source. Yeah, inside the
Great ass! Well,
so he sneaks into her office to search for incriminating evidence like a letter addressed to the Maniac Cop or a 20-pound bag of Maniac Cop food or a subscription for how to leak valuable police information to a Maniac Cop quarterly, but he doesn't find any of those things.
Oh, thank Jesus for that.
Again, not until they buy my script. What evidence do you think these people keep in their offices?
That's where I put all my incriminating evidence, you know. So, I mean, work is work. This is where I'm productive.
how did we ever police this town without a computer, huh?
So instead, Frank follows Sally to a warehouse pier where, oh my God, she's meeting with the Maniac Cop?
Well, that was easy.
Yes, I know.
He still says nothing because he knows that anything he says can and will be used against him. Like Frank said, this guy, oh my God, he's smart. But that's fine anyway because Sally's content to do all the talking. In fact, Sally expositions him all to shit.
Now they think they got the guilty man, so that way you're gonna let your guard down and you'll be free to get to the mayor and the commissioner.
Whoa, slow down, Maurice.
Also, she'd prefer if he'd stop killing innocent people, though to be clear,
I said that I'd stick by you, and I will.
that won't necessarily affect her feelings for his maniac dick. It just gives her the maniac ick.
Was that Shakespeare?
Only save it for those that did wrong to you.
Hey, some guys chew their fingernails, other guys murder the innocent. Every guy has flaws. You can't waste your life waiting for Mr. Perfect. Oh, by the way, have I mentioned how much I love you? Matt Cordell, the Maniac Cop. I hope no one's listening. But during the hand-sucking part of this conversation, Frank's boner bumps into something, so Sally whips around and just starts... Sally doesn't hit anything, though.
Oh, I guess I was just jumping.
Frank leaves, but runs into a security guard who's like, what were you doing in there? And Frank's like,
I had to take a leak.
you know, sometimes you need to pee, so you break into a warehouse pier to pee. The guard's like, well, that makes complete sense to me. I did hear several gunshots, but I'm not worried about it. You were peeing, and you have a gun. I've never peed with a gun without blasting a few rounds into the air. It's called a good old Glock and cock, and it helps squeeze out the last few drops.
Yeah, nowadays everybody's packing a gun. I don't blame you.
And Frank was like, wow, I did not expect you to be this on board with it. I was just making something up, but I think I've stumbled onto an entire subculture here.
It's like there's a whole other thing going on here.
It's like the worst possible excuse. There's nowhere else you could pee.
Yeah, you gotta say, I'm working on a student film. That covers a lot of bases if you're in a weird area.
Hey, check this out. Hey dude, it's pretty hot. Why don't you have a little bit?
Oh, God.
You just drank pee, man.
It's a good way to blow your balls off.
I mean, he's a cop, so he could have said, I'm investigating something.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah, the whole city's going to hell. You can't take a pee anywhere anymore.
A lot of people don't know that.
So Frank goes to do more research on Cordell and learns, okay, yes, he definitely liked hand sucking. Says so in the newspaper.
More about Cordell and you got time to read.
Also, he apparently killed basically every criminal he encountered back in the day, but...
He was kind, though. Gentle enough if you got to...
Kissing.
No, well, then it's okay then. If he had been a room killer, that would have been a whole different story.
Matt believed in the old saying, shoot first and ask questions later.
Well, he'd get them ice cream first. I guess they must not have known that crucial detail about Cordell when they sent him to Sing Sing to effectively get murdered in prison. No wonder his unnamed girlfriend tried to kill herself by jumping out a window but failed and only managed to score 6s on the judges' scorecards and to cripple herself.
Terrible thing for a Catholic girl to do.
I wonder what she's up to nowadays. Hope she's feeling better and not leaking police information to or sucking the hands of a serial killer. Anyway, have a great day, research man.
What was that?
Nothing. Forget it.
Back at the piss pier, old Cordell daydreams or night dreams. I mean, his eyes are open, but it's night. Anyway, he remembers the time that he was all huge and naked and wet and in prison, and he got in a fight with 3 small and clothed and dry and in prison guys in the shower, but ultimately they stabbed him with a knife, to be clear.
How's that ass feeling?
And they cut up his face pretty good, and that's what you get for shooting too many criminals, I guess. Also, the movie keeps suggesting that the commissioner and the mayor intentionally set Cordell up to be locked up because everybody was upset about police brutality, but surely they could find one legitimate instance of police brutality somewhere in the department if that was the case. Were you worried you'd have to break up the championship police softball team? If Cordell was actually already killing all these people, I don't know that you'd have to pull a bunch of strings to get him thrown in jail. And also, you wouldn't necessarily need to have him sent to a prison where he'd be killed. No one on the force was actually committing police brutality? Not a single person. Everybody's mad about it, but we're not doing it. So I guess we gotta just come up with a guy, I don't know.
We investigated ourselves
very thoroughly.
Very thoroughly.
I gave myself a long look in the mirror, and I don't think I did it.
They murdered him. Those bastards down in City Hall.
Yeah, well...
Whatever, who cares? That was the past, and this is the now. And now, Frank and Teresa meet with Jack in prison to explain their Cordell-related findings and how they believe Sally set Jack up to take the fall for a dead guy?
Now they think they got the guilty man.
Cordell's revenge for being an unjustly framed officer is to unjustly frame another officer? Are Sally and Cordell worried that he'll get rearrested or something? This implies that they have some sort of long-term strategy besides just killing everyone who has wronged him, and also that strategy is stupid as hell. Either way, Jack will be in prison until Cordell murders one person that they can't pin on Jack, or they'll let Jack go and it won't really matter either way. If there's a plan, why isn't it just to walk up to the commissioner and shoot him in the head and then do the same thing to the mayor?
They're gonna let their guard down and you'll be free to get to the mayor and the commissioner.
I don't think I can die.
It's not like either of them was on the lookout for a maniac cop until you began copping maniacally. You are apparently impervious to bullets, right? You know, a smarter movie would reveal that Cordell is mostly brain dead, but still deeply loyal to Sally, who in a fun twist was slighted by every single murder victim in the movie and has been intentionally sending zombie Cordell to take them out one by one. But that would be original and interesting, so the movie producers smothered the screenwriter who suggested it in concrete.
I knew you had anger in you, Matt, but...
Everybody thinks you're dead? Why would you need a fall guy?
Because that is the fall guy, is your dead carcass.
Look, I'm a maniac. I gotta get revenge. But like, I don't want people to think I'm doing it. So I guess I'm gonna pin it on this guy. But also, it's Bruce Campbell. He's a big guy. He's not a huge guy.
Yeah, right.
If you just want revenge, why don't you just kill the 2 people? You're invincible. You're just like murdering people's wives and musicians. It's like that musician played shitty jazz at me once and I hated it, so I smothered him in concrete. The more people he randomly kills, the more things they have to pin on Jack. It's one thing to be like, okay, Jack, we think you killed your wife. It's another thing to be like, Jack, I think you smothered a musician in concrete.
And you have been peeing everywhere.
You're gonna be the fall guy for Frank's piss antics.
You seem to be peeing upon my leg.
I better read you your rights.
Whatever. Frank leaves so Teresa and Jack can, I don't know, bang in the interrogation room while Frank presumably watches from behind the 2-way mirror.
Why don't you continue this questioning for a while alone? Rough him up a little bit.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! And let me just briefly pause to say it's sort of weird that the heroes of this story are two co-workers hiding a career-ruining affair from one guy's completely innocent and now murdered wife.
I think your wife was murdered.
And they're not great people. Frank heads back to Sally's office to, I guess, see if that confession letter from Mr. the Maniac Cop finally arrived. But Sally beats the shit out of him with a cane for a bit. Which must have given him flashbacks to his hooker cop days. Frank eventually finds his footing, pun intended, against the old woman with only one functional leg, but it's too late. Because mostly off screen, Maniac Matt has been going on a rampage, killing every cop in the station.
Don't worry about me.
So again, Cordell's revenge for being a wrongfully murdered officer is to wrongfully murder other officers, none of whom had anything to do with his murder and probably murdered a bunch of criminals just like Cordell. So what is happening? Why is he angry at them? What is even going on? Amidst the chaos, script and in-universe, Teresa frees Jack and he tries to save Frank, but doesn't do such a great job with it.
Hey, Frank!
Also, Teresa sure screams a lot for a cop. No wonder people found out about your affair. This is illegal! Anyway, get a grip, officer. Remember your training. Kill. Jack is almost shot by some other cops, but he explains everything, so it's fine.
I didn't do any of this.
A ghost did it. Oh, okay. Well, then I guess we'll go arrest the ghost. We have him dead to rights, am I right? Anyway, sorry to bother you. Go bang Teresa in the interrogation room again. We'll take care of all this mess, Jack.
I didn't do any of this.
Sure you did.
Jack and Teresa head to Sing Sing to talk to the mortician who autopsied Cordell and learn A, Cordell refused to be placed in isolation because he was really more of an extrovert kind of inmate. So actually him being murdered was kind of his own fault, weirdly. And B, okay, so if you want to get technical,
Cordell wasn't dead.
Look who knows so much, huh?
he wasn't technically dead. He just had severe brain damage, even by Long Island standards. And Sally convinced the mortician to give her the not dead body. And he was like, sure, why not? He's basically dead. Take it, I don't want it, ew.
He had severe brain damage. I was certain that he was legally dead.
Well, figured. Literally.
Confusingly, this makes it seem like Cordell's not so much an undead zombie cop as a fully alive guy with brain damage, which, to be clear, it's fine. Some of them make for pretty decent cameramen, but then why is he impervious to bullets? Because I'll tell you what, Dave, not so much. I've tried it on many occasions. He seems very pervious.
There's no way he could function as a human being.
But like, even if he was a zombie, Teresa says she shot him in the head twice. So like, what is he exactly? An evil leprechaun?
You know it's St. Patrick's Day.
Wait, is he actually 3 Irish little people stacked on top of each other?
The wee people have their magical ways.
Jack still wanted for the murder of like 50 cops and women who work at bars and musicians and horny boyfriends and sad wives, so he waits outside while Teresa explains to the commissioner that a mostly dead guy is coming over to make him a fully dead guy. The commissioner doesn't believe her, and in fact, Frank, who's as bad at leaving messages as he is at every other part of his job, left the commissioner an ambiguous voicemail that implies Teresa and Jack are the ones who want to make him a dead guy.
Homicidal maniac is getting information from inside the department. His accomplice is a female employee, a policewoman.
She is working with him to kill people.
Of course, he couldn't have been talking about you.
So she's half arrested, and the commissioner gets murdered by Maniac Matt in the hallway. Well, I am glad to know that Cordell took my murder advice, so that's something.
Why don't you put a real feather in my cap and lay it all out for me?
Now, the cop who arrests Teresa initially makes it seem like he wants to bend her over the desk and Miranda all over her rights, but actually, he just wants her help arresting Cordell because it'd be a huge career opportunity for him. Imagine being the first cop to arrest a mostly dead ghost guy. Chief of police, here this guy comes.
Come on, win me the big promotion.
Like, you arrested Casper? How did you freaking get the shackles over his non-corporeal wrists?
His ethereal boy wrists.
I couldn't stop. I was having so much fun.
But Teresa isn't helpful.
You know, you got a real rotten-ass attitude.
So she gets handcuffed anyway, but then, oh my God, Maniac Matt kills that guy.
No, I'll tell you something else.
Don't look at the camera, sweetie.
And then she escapes to a ledge, and Cordell's chasing her, but then he stops. His one fear is maybe heights, I guess? Or maybe he's just distracted, seemingly, by Jack getting arrested on the sidewalk and hucked into the back of a paddy wagon that Cordell then steals because this is just all part of the plan, baby. The very good, very important plan that Cordell has. Even though, why does he give a shit about Jack? In fact, wasn't the plan to frame Jack for Cordell's murders? But now he wants to kill the guy he's framing for his killings? I think Frank was wrong about Cordell's smartness. It's like, oh no, they've arrested the guy that I want them to think is killing people. Well, I don't want that, I want to kill that guy. But then who are you going to frame for your killings? If you kill the guy you are framing, you freaking undead idiot. Teresa climbs down from the ledge and hops in a cop car driven by the infamous Officer Slidey McDrifts, the best cop in the entire city at holding down the ZR button when going into tight corners. And this kicks off a chase scene with a couple of cool moments. And moments so cool, in fact, that Jack, I guess, refuses to sit his ass down at any point because he's trying to watch out the window. Sit down, Jack, damn. Oh no! Where are we going? Oh! Eventually they arrive at the P pier and Teresa runs in brandishing a shotgun that she has to know is utterly useless. But okay, she actually fires it into the air to scare the invincible cop and to help any nearby pissers squirt out those last few drops.
What's all this?
But he isn't scared? He's also not seemingly scared of this other cop, but he is scared of approaching even more other cop sirens. So he hops back into the paddy wagon and Jack hops on too and they punch a bit. And Jack realizes that Cordell, well, he is looking rough. Even worse for Cordell's looks. He's fully impaled by the hanging thing, which causes him to careen the truck into the water while Jack's stuntman does an epic backflip. Pretty sick, but also, what was Cordell's actual plan here? He was driving straight at the water at full speed. Seems like he was always gonna crash, impaled or otherwise. Maybe his plan, like the script for this movie, makes more sense after you've had your brain shaken like a dry martini. I don't know, I think Cordell just sucks at plans. Probably because of the brain damage, maybe because he's in love, definitely because he's like 99% dead. And though they pull out the truck, I don't think they find the body. Although it probably depends on which version you're watching because we cut to a shit-ass mayor scene where he's very clearly murdered by Maniac Matt hiding behind a curtain or something. He was listening to my suggestions the whole time. Oh, collector's twist. God, I hope that's not the true ending because boy, I don't want Cordell to still be out there because that dude is like a maniac.
At least that's what you have to tell the public if you want to be reelected.
Okay, sorry, I need another bite. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, you've got massive brain damage, right? So, if I said there was only one Maniac Cop movie, you would say... God. Fine, but let me get one more bite of this delicious truffle butter chicken.
I mean, I ain't queer or nothing.
Wait, did I click the wrong movie? Oh no, it's just that this movie uses the last 2 minutes of the last movie entirely unedited. That's smart and so eco-friendly. Like how I feed the old Dave clones to the new batch. It's a self-sustaining system at this point. Also, you wouldn't want any audiences to get too lost in the deep, intricate lore of the Maniac Cop franchise.
But what does it mean?
Also, if you film a dude flipping backwards off a crashing truck, you will take any excuse to show that footage again because it is badass as hell. If I had seen this movie earlier, I'd have used that clip during my wedding instead of my vows. She'd be like, you know, I promised to stay loyal. And I'd be like, okay, and for me, whoa! From there, we get opening credits over like 10,000 smashed up police cruisers. Kinda looks like the cops in this town suck at not crashing into stuff. Or maybe they've got an underground demolition derby going on? Unclear. But after a shockingly long time, one of the more functional cars gets driven away by somebody. But who? Could it be the zombie cop guy who 100% didn't die in the last movie and somehow still remembers how to drive? Maybe it's the murdered mayor from the Secret Collector's Edition ending. Ooh, maybe now he's also undead and a speed freak?
At least that's what you have to tell the public if you want to be reelected.
Maybe everyone will be a zombie in this movie? Maybe I'm a zombie right now? I guess we'll see. But at the moment, we cut to the world's skeeziest guy openly stealing Hostess cakes in front of God and everybody, like a villain in a comic book ad. When the clerk makes the mistake of asking if he needs any help stealing Hostess cakes,
Figure it out.
Skeez whips out a shotgun and is in general very rude. Before 8 a.m., a gentleman uses a handheld pistol or a Morning Star. Freaking Philistine.
No, it's okay.
Unfortunately, the cashier doesn't have ready access to any cash, but it's okay because the boss will be in around 8:30 a.m. and he can open the safe, and while we wait...
Let's open up some lotto tickets.
Are you sure?
I feel lucky.
Do you, punk?
I wouldn't want you to get disappointed on top of definitely going to jail because the cashier already hit the silent alarm.
$5,000.
Oh, well, screw me then. And that mugger would then later use his lotto winnings to start Google. True story, according to Google's AI. Although, how do you go about cashing this? Like, what are the rules for that? I hope he can get his money transferred to his prison canteen account because he'll be able to buy the ramen he wants.
I need
100 soups. Soups? Yeah, ramen.
The cops that are coming to help are just about to get their snack on, so they might not be super effective. Skeez could huck Hostess behind him as he escapes, and their overpowering hunger will force them to stop and choke down each and every single one. The only thing that might ruin his day? A hulking undead cop that's impervious to bullets and story logic.
This is the one thing we didn't want to happen.
Dave always says, when you put a few bullets in someone and that doesn't stop them, you're gonna have a bad night. I'm like, good to know, Dave.
It's like it happens to me all the time.
Yeah. My worst nights are the nights where I shoot people and they don't slow down. Consistently, across the board, every time.
That just pissed that guy off. Holy
I hope he's not an undead zombie cop with CTE.
Bad news.
So now the cashier thinks he will just automatically win the $5,000.
I guess I win it, huh?
But could a cashier theoretically just do that? Like scratch a bunch of tickets until he wins and then use the winnings to pay off the non-winners retroactively? If so, what the hell am I doing running a ass YouTube channel instead of working at 7-Eleven? Bonus, I could hook their Slurpee machine directly into my veins. Really, the only downside of this job would be, I don't know, like getting killed by an undead revenge cop in order to frame my murder on the guy who was robbing the store.
What for?
I did it for me. I liked it.
It's way too common. The city has already seen a 100% increase in undead zombie cops that kill and frame innocent people recently. And I can't risk it. I don't want to be another victim of that very specific scenario. Also, feels a little excessive to shoot this skeezy guy 300 times, but also, this is a town where people don't die very easily from being shot. Yo, this movie is set at Christmas? Last movie was St. Patrick's Day, so I think it's safe to say that the third movie is definitely going to be set during Juneteenth, just to be extra confusing and likely piss off everybody watching it in one direction or the other.
Woke Maniac Cop makes me want to vomit.
But until then, Christmas miracle! Jack and Teresa are informed by the deputy commissioner that they've been cleared of any wrongdoing, like having a workplace affair or being persons of interest in dozens of homicides because, well, they drove a truck in the river.
You didn't find the body in the river?
It was heavily implied.
Which is so weird because this is New York, so there should be 2 or 3 bodies in the river at any given time. But also, do they even have any witnesses? Is anybody that's ever seen Cordell besides them still alive? Is Cordell Santa Claus? Because they still don't think Cordell murdered anybody.
Cordell died in Sing Sing.
I almost forgot about that.
So who was the murderer then? Like, what is the official conclusion? If it's not Cordell, who did it?
Santa Claus.
What?
If we don't have a body, why would we even assume that the killings are over? Jack still seems like the most likely suspect, right? Who are we saying murdered his wife? Do cops get like one freebie when it comes to spouses? Do we think everybody in the last movie died of suicide and or, in the case of Jack's wife, a broken heart? Because she loved too much and too hard? Oh, damn, that'd be poetic. I don't know, shut up. You two need to see a therapist.
Oh, come on, Commissioner. We're not crazy.
Well, why didn't you say so?
We've cleared you of any wrongdoing because... why? They have no body. They haven't caught anyone. The only thing that they know is that Jack drove a truck into the water. Officially, what is on the report? That's what I don't understand. They're like, a bunch of people died. Bummer.
Question mark and done. Close that book.
Filed.
That's damn fine police work, Sergeant. Damn fine.
In fact, you're gonna get commendations for your actions.
The therapist, Susan Riley, is like, okay, I think you guys are crazy.
You are.
Gotcha, bitch!
There's no way Cordell came back to life, even though we already know he didn't technically legally die. According to the easily subpoenable mortician guy, it's like in this one, they're kind of saying that he is a zombie, but in the last one, they very explicitly went out of their way to make him not technically a zombie. Why don't we just go talk to that guy?
Look at you investigating things.
I'm a little bit of a detective head myself. I'm an amateur sleuth. And honestly, the more I think about it, the more of a cop-out it seems. Not everything has to be in the realm of plausible. Cordell could just be a zombie. He could be the bastard offspring of Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, for all I care. Just make a zombie cop movie. None of this brain injury BS that also somehow makes you impervious to bullets. Just zombie it up, movie, get your zomb on.
Great.
No.
But no, that serial killer guy?
Could have been anyone in a policeman's uniform, right?
What are you talking about? No, it couldn't. It had to be a very specific guy. How do you idiots think that the law works? Jack's like, look, I don't give a shit. I'll say that the bastard offspring of Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny did it if it means I get to keep my job. And Teresa's like, no, it was a zombie.
You can't kill the dead.
Even though he explicitly wasn't a zombie in the last movie, and she knows that. And Susan's like, what?
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to give her a negative evaluation.
Looks like somebody just failed the psych exam, lol. That was my only question was, do you believe in zombies? And you failed. She like storms out of there. She's like, he's a f***ing zombie. Bop, bop, bop. She's like, wrong. Failed. Jack's like, she didn't mean that. He's like, it sure sounded like she did.
Don't put that in your report.
And Teresa, sweetie, why would you ever say this to a person who can get you fitted with a pair of non-slip socks in a padded room with a stroke of a pen? Even if you're right, which I'm actually kind of reasonably sure you aren't technically, just keep quiet and maybe instead focus on catching Cordell before he comes to kill you, and or just like you should move to Europe, since I'm reasonably sure Cordell won't be able to charter a boat or purchase a plane ticket.
Let her go.
Whatever. Cut to a dude jumping out a window in epic but not backflippy fashion, only to get blasted by this badass noir-ass cop who maintains his badass revolver pose for like 30 seconds after the guy dies, only to just walk away. He's like, blam! Right?
Never better.
He was just passing by and decided to shoot a guy jumping out of a window? The cops who show up explain that they were covering the front, suggesting that they had not previously communicated any sort of plan to this guy.
That's why I came around back.
You mean like from behind?
Sort of seems like he saw some cops engage in a thing and decided to shoot whoever came out of the building without even attempting arrest. Oh, it's like jazz. It's like all about the arrests you don't make. Badass. Snaps for this guy. Except, whoops, murdering dudes means you have to go see Susan to talk about your feelings about murdering dudes.
I feel great about what I did.
Oh, good. Well, thanks for your service. You didn't mention zombies, so clearly you are the model of sanity. Except before you leave, you remember that partner you had who shot himself in the head? He was supposed to meet with me, Susan, but he canceled and then canceled himself.
I know all about that. I found the body Monday morning.
And I feel like that's your fault, Sean. And Sean's like, ugh, frustrated noise.
Please don't slam the...
That night, Jack purchases a couple dozen newspapers from a blind guy because he's on the front cover being exonerated or whatever. But again, why? I get that he did a sick backflip, but I personally believe we need more than that to exonerate somebody. Like, again, what did even the newspaper say? Cop exonerated, and also, no, we didn't find the serial killer, but we stopped being worried about it. If being good at backflips was the only thing that you needed to be exonerated, then Simone Biles could just do as many crimes as she wanted. Like, there would be no check against Simone Biles. She could backflip like crazy. But then Jack is stabbed to death by a hulking, evil, dead zombie cop that the blind guy is of no help against.
Police! Police!
Daredevil he is not.
Talk to me!
Cut to the morgue where Jack's been given the VIP treatment. He's placed right next to the topless dead body of a sexy stripper.
Sure picks the pretty ones.
And true connoisseurs know that choice is the ultimate luxury.
At least he's still doing what he loved, being naked with a woman who wasn't his wife. Sean brings in Teresa to confirm it's Jack's body and to also accuse her of maybe killing Jack.
This is bullshit.
The only thing I was slain was that dick.
I'd have no reason to kill him. I loved him.
I'm willing to do a sick backflip on a skateboard to prove it, too. Maybe he was hoping Teresa would slip up and say something like, yeah, but look at those stab marks. Work of art, such elegance and precision. Side note, I don't know a lot about morgues, but is it standard to leave the sexiest bodies uncovered no matter who is in the room for like hours at a time? Hey, Dave's not complaining, but I kind of am.
I'm just following procedure.
Maybe it was like a prop dead body and they spent a lot of money on it and really wanted to show it off.
I think they had to pay some woman by the hour to just be there buck-ass nude on a morgue table.
Honest work, just reward.
Turns out Sean doesn't even think that Teresa did it, and he was recording what she said with a wire for no clear reason, outside of maybe getting some steamy stories about her and Jack for his later investigation in the shower.
My time would be better spent finding out who killed Jack.
Why limit yourself? Why not both?
He's just pressuring her so she won't talk to the press.
Just our way of putting her on the defensive for a while, so she doesn't go to the papers.
She doesn't even know that you recorded it. What do you mean? That's exactly what she's going to tell the newspaper. I don't know what you having it recorded hours before how that would make her not do it.
Put more pressure on her.
Drip, 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 that'll never stop.
But, I mean, they still have basically no reason to believe Cordell, or whoever they think the killer is dead. And how long was the murder gap anyway? A couple weeks? Ooh, second side note, idea for a Hot Topic competitor called Murder Gap. Obviously, this case isn't closed, guys. I get that they probably don't want people killing random cops again, but I don't understand how recording Teresa saying that she didn't kill anybody and that a zombie cop did kill people will help keep her quiet. Maybe Sean and the deputy commissioner also have brain damage? Their plans really aren't that much more coherent than Cordell's. These are bad cops, I think.
I don't like it either.
You should talk.
And again, why doesn't Teresa ever mention the very chatty mortician guy at Sing Sing? Like there's legitimate non-voodoo reasons to believe Cordell could be involved, right? His body wasn't struck by lightning or something. He never technically died. That feels important. Although I guess to be fair, he did fall into the Hudson, so maybe they think his body immediately dissolved. I don't know.
I just don't like people who try and get inside other people's...
Elsewhere, a rich guy gets mad at a cop for towing his car, but it's fine because Cordell murders that cop, sticks him on the tow hook, and then drives away in front of God and everybody. The rich guy is apparently thrilled that he witnessed this murder for free, because you don't get rich by caring about others or paying for parking. And he assumes that you're no longer in trouble if the cop who wrote you a ticket gets murdered. But I don't think that's true. Dave's tried. I was correct. The system works. Oh my God, thank God. Susan is understandably a little shook by Jack's death, as she is by Teresa's insistence that the killer is still out there. So she goes to talk to the blind guy to see, to check if she can get any information.
Did you touch him?
Show us on the doll.
He offers up a surprisingly solid little anecdote about how he was in World War II.
A German grenade went off in my
butthole. And his entire platoon was wiped out, and he was blinded by a grenade, and he spent an entire night hiding underneath all his dead buddies.
Frozen, dead.
Penises! And how he never thought he'd feel cold, dead flesh like that again until he accidentally touched the arm of Jack's killer last night and felt the exact same coldness. Or he could have accidentally touched a CEO walking by. I mean, who knows?
Just for a second, mind you.
Dave actually told me a similar story, but it was about killing a bunch of pigeons and being worried that he'd never get to kill pigeons again. But then he did kill more pigeons, and that's why we no longer do Thanksgivings at his place.
In Sicily.
And I guess actually wasn't that similar to this guy's story now that I think about it. But again, and sorry to keep harping about it, but Cordell is not dead by the movie's own admission. He's just a guy with CTE who, okay, yeah, He can also shrug off bullets. But the movie started this plot thread, and I'm just following the film's logic, as tragic as that is. I'm like a cop following a lead, and it's turning me into a maniac.
It's happening again.
It never stopped, but sure.
Wrong guy died in that truck in the river.
Dude, no guy died in the river. You didn't find a body? What are you people even talking about? The new 2 weeks on the job police captain is like, great.
Give me a break.
This job sucks already. I hate my life, and I have never identified more with a movie character in my life.
Except one.
And his name is John C.
Susan visits Teresa, who shockingly is preparing to talk to the press about everything. This despite the fact that she was recorded not admitting anything against her knowledge.
Why not?
Sorry to be hung up on that, but I don't get what the plan was there. I don't get a single plan in this entire franchise so far. All these people making plans, but I don't get it. But Susan is like, well, hey, I believe you now, probably. Can I come with you to the interview? I'll even pay for your cab. And fun fact, this is how lesbians used to flirt in public in the 80s. Not saying that these two characters are lesbians, but Dave keeps saying that he wishes they were.
I can't.
They are, of course, followed by Cordell, and when their cab driver gets out to check the inexplicably flat tires,
Where the hell you going?
Teresa heroically steals the cab for a shockingly solid chase scene. Mostly because half the car is driving on rims, and the sparks look really rad, and really, everything looks better with sparks flying out of it. That's why I refuse to fix my toaster. My kids feel like 4th of July every time I make breakfast. Yay! Woohoo! Just sparks. He's showering the kitchen.
It's really spicy toast.
The cab driver and his insurance company do not appreciate how rad this looks, however, presumably. They eventually crash, and though Teresa attempts to shoot Cordell 10 times, it doesn't work, much in the same way that it has never worked, and she gets her ass hooked. Cordell then handcuffs Susan to a steering wheel and sends her rolling down a hill into oncoming traffic for yet another surprisingly solid set piece. It's crazy how this series waited until it was direct to video to do big, cool action set pieces. Sort of like waiting for a book deal to reveal the terrible government corruption you witnessed as a government employee. Just a weird choice of timing. I guess they probably didn't want a bunch of action to distract from those poignant character arcs in the first film.
You know, you got a real rotten-ass attitude.
Eventually, Susan heaves herself into the car and stops it by... well, flipping the damn thing over. They don't tend to teach that technique in driver's ed, but that doesn't mean it's not effective. They were always like, you should hit the brakes with your foot. And I was like, but wouldn't I just as likely stop if I flipped the car upside down?
Yeah, same result.
They're like, you're not technically wrong. We don't usually teach it. You must be a very advanced student.
The coolest student.
You're probably the coolest student we've ever had here.
Very cool.
Oh, also Susan tries to chainsaw Cordell, but doesn't go great. Honestly, just like how Texas Chainsaw Massacre tried to convince me that human meat is delicious. This movie is making an amazing case to get CTE. It not only makes you immune to bullets, but also immune to chainsaws? Does it also give you sick juggling skills? Like, is there anything that CTE can't do?
What the hell is going on?
Susan meets with Sean in the ambulance, and she admits that she thinks Teresa might have been right about some things.
Sean, I saw Matt Cordell.
You mean you saw the guy whose body you never found and should always have been our only suspect? That's crazy. What are the odds? Elsewhere at Club 69, named of course for the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869, a hairy guy watches this random talk show where both the deputy commissioner and Susan are guests and chatting about both recent targeted murders of strippers, one of which was the weirdly naked dead body from earlier, and also arguing about the idea that a cop has come back to life from the dead and is killing random people again.
Brain dead, but still breathing when his body was released.
That does not happen.
I feel like we should have led with that. Seems like that's a bigger threat to everyone, including the stripper population. Even still, it really feels like this should have been split into 2 separate episodes. So last week, we talked about how murder is going on, and that's bad. But also this week, we're learning that there's life after death, or at least after CTE. Oh my God, let's discuss that. Did the deputy commissioner know that Susan was coming on the show?
One of your lady cops.
Slut cop, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, why is he on this show? Do they not have an actual news affiliate in this version of New York City? Are you interrupting Letterman for this? This would be like the President of the United States exclusively posting on a fringe social media platform that mostly was populated with conspiracy theorists and extremists.
I'm gonna see that you're suspended.
I'm not worried about it. I'll be pardoned. I just need to commit some fraud real quick. I'm sure I can defraud Dave later.
You can't con Edison.
The show ends and the hairy guy convinces a stripper to remove her top by flashing his own $20 bill, which in 1990 was like half her rent, probably. Now, I'm no finance expert, but she showed the goods to everybody in the place, not just the one guy. The smarter move would have been for everybody to pool their money together so nobody was left footing the $10 per booby bill alone. Could have maybe even gotten some butt thrown in there. Perv's smarter, not harder, hairy guy. I call this radical approach to booby appreciation booby collectivism. I have written a manifesto, and Dave is preparing to shoot some cops over it. Although those might be unrelated. He's like, I love that book you wrote. I'm gonna go kill some cops.
Don't go nowhere. Hang around.
That stripper lady named Cheryl heads home to inform her mom that things are going great at the stripper store.
Yes, Mom, there's plenty of room for advancement.
Lots of open positions. Just climbing that career pole. But then somebody creepy tries to break in, so she calls the landlord to call the cops.
Please call the police.
Right as the hairy guy jumps in the window and jumps her.
You're asking for it.
No, I wasn't.
Guess he's still upset about how careless he was with his $20. But also, I guess he's the serial killer killing strippers, not Cordell.
You never know what type of person's gonna walk in now, do you?
It's always who you least suspect. Although that said, Cordell does bust in right then, and he almost kills Cheryl, which, as we've established, counts as a full murder in this universe. He then definitely full kills 2 other cops, and then just leaves with the hairy guy, who I guess is now his best friend.
You're front page stuff. For me, I'm back on page 5.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yep. I mean, he takes Cordell to his apartment and everything.
I mean, I ain't queer or nothing.
Great.
Yeah. Well, queer or not, he's apparently a huge admirer of Cordell's work, such as it is.
I got to make you respect me.
But all he can really think of is showing him his big fat knife, which, granted, is how I've gotten 2 of my 3 kids to respect me. The third one's holding out on me because they have a gun.
Ooh, you got a big one too.
And then he says what Dave says to me every time he calls me into the toilet.
Did you ever see anything so nasty?
He also tells Cordell he was an idiot for putting the squeeze on the commissioner, which ultimately led to his death. And not sure if this is technically a retcon or not, but it makes his being made an example of in the first movie make way more sense. Apparently, the commissioner and his cronies were actively corrupt, like taking bribes, as opposed to passively corrupt. When you commit just one act of corruption and then you let the money pour in while you do nothing.
That is what you call the out of the deal.
Anyway, Cordell found out about it, and fortunately for the commissioner, it just so happened that Cordell was a loose cannon murderer cop, so I assume that made it easier to get him convicted.
So dumb, it's brilliant.
No!
What do you think you get out of it?
Oh, and also Cordell was weirdly proud or something, which is why he refused isolation and then he got murdered. Oh, hey, would you like to see the exact same scene from the first movie? Well, here you go. Anyway, Cordell's got somewhere he needs to be.
Going someplace I can't go, huh?
Breaking my heart.
All right, bye then. When you come back, we should maybe play some Halo co-op and then maybe kiss in a non-queer way. I'm just kidding. Have fun. Bring me back a toy or like a shirt or something.
Daddy.
Cheryl is brought to Susan and Sean, and they come up with a kick-ass plan to hit up some strip clubs just to see if the hairy guy's randomly at one of them. And if not, hey, no big loss. They'd still be at a strip club during work hours. Win-win.
Girls work hard.
I mean, I guess.
I can make $1,000 a week.
At $10 a boob? That's a lot. That's $2,500 today, which means that she could pull in well over 6 figures. So what used to live in a shithole? Maybe at minimum spring for an apartment where you're able to call the cops directly without having to ask your landlord first. I guess what I'm really asking is, how bad is your cocaine habit?
Lieutenant, it's him.
Well, unfortunately for Sean and the other cop they brought along, the hairy guy is at literally the first club they hit up, so they don't get to even enjoy themselves. Susan clubs hairy guy with her Casso. Hooray, we caught the serial killer.
Well, that was easy. Let ourselves a serial killer.
I mean, that's great, but the movie is called Maniac Cop 2, not Hairy Guy 2. So let's maybe keep our eyes on the prize movie? But Susan's like, well, I guess since we've got some downtime and we need to stretch the run time a bit, I should go get better at guns.
That's not a very good shot pattern.
Well, great. That was 5 minutes. At least she's still good at clubbing. Hope there aren't any baby seals around because Susan's locked and loaded. Meanwhile, hairy guy's struggling to make friends in prison.
You need...
Motherfucker!
Because they all hate his ass singing.
Hey, be nice.
But when Susan comes to visit, Harry Guy's like, well, I shouldn't be here long because Cordell and I are non-sexual best friends, and I am positive that he's gonna come save me. He's literally never said anything to me at all besides his name.
And his name is...
But I could tell in his eyes that he truly loved me like a murdery pervert brother. But like also maybe like a kissing brother? I don't know, we didn't really get into the specifics. Someone floated the idea of some non-gay kissing. I can't remember who said it now, but I'm just saying that it might happen. And if it does, well, then it happens. You know, no reason to make a big deal out of it. I'm just saying, we're experiencing the closest type of friendship that men can have outside of...
We went to fucking games!
And he's right. Because they apparently got a budget for this movie, Cordell, showing the quickest detective work of any cop in these movies, immediately finds Harry Guy's location and proceeds to smash every possible bit of the precinct. Just slamming his burly ass through every window pane he can reach and hucking the police captain through everything he can't reach.
It must be visiting hours!
Oh, it must be. That's the only period where visitors are allowed to come murder everybody in the police precinct. Otherwise, that's strictly prohibited.
Stop it.
As far as I can tell, there's absolutely no reason for Cordell to break his buddy out of jail other than that, inexplicably, one of the inmates is supposed to be transferred to Sing Sing tomorrow, so theoretically they could use him to smuggle themselves into Sing Sing so Cordell can free everybody inside and build an army for non-specific but probably evil purposes, and or to have more buddies to pool money together so they could go see some more boobs.
Because we're recruiting.
Although this guy isn't sure that he wants to join.
I don't know part of this!
That's too damn bad.
The thing I don't understand is how Cordell knew this guy was going to be transferred to Sing Sing in the first place. Like in the first movie, he had a limping lady on the inside, but in this movie, he just is. Although, I mean, if this movie wants to introduce zombie cop telepathy 1 hour into the runtime, I mean, I have no problem with it. But also, like, he seemingly left Harry Guy to come here? How did Harry Guy go to the strip club, get arrested, booked, and placed in a holding cell all before Cordell showed up? Does he really walk that slowly? I think you're gonna get arrested, so I'm gonna start walking. Oh my God, do you think the zombie cop is actually secretly Sally with a bum leg? Is this like a Friday the 13th thing where the killer is secretly female? Oh my God, empowering, so feminist?
He's got a reason for everything he does.
Man, I guess. What's with people across both films acting like this guy is Maniac Moriarty? Feels like he just murders random people constantly. Like, what was the reason for murdering the convenience store guy? For overcharging on Twinkies and ho-hos? Just to frame the robber? Okay, well then why murder the tow truck cop? Was that also just to heroically frame the asshole rich guy? Okay, then why did he kill the musician in the first movie, or most of these freaking killings? I guess he killed Jack's wife to frame him because he just, I guess he just loves framing people. But what is the end goal here? Just to generally make the police seem bad? It's gotta be easier and clearer ways to achieve that. Counterpoint.
Bumper cars! Oh, no!
This is way more fun.
Goddamn right.
Man, all slasher sequels should do this. Just be chock full of action set pieces held together by a very charitable definition of the word plot. I want to see Michael Myers in a hang glider shootout. I want to see Jason in a chainsaw duel on jet skis. And I want to see Freddy freaking dead and motionless, because I hate that guy.
This, bitch.
While every other cop gets exploded by Harry Guy's incredible twisted metal bus driving, Sean rides with the deputy commissioner at a safe distance while he explains there's only one way to stop Cordell.
Only you can.
Basically, he thinks if the deputy commissioner confesses what he did and reopened Cordell's case, he'd stop building an army to kill everybody. Feels like we might be past an apology at this point, but hey, it's worth a shot.
Sign a confession.
I would love it though if nothing happened and they had to resort to more and more ironclad evidence. Sign a confession, notarize it, record your confession on tape, provide blood and urine evidence, round up 20 credible witnesses, write the prosecution's opening statement. No, he needs so much. Cordell is a needy boy.
Well, what do you want me to do, huh? Shove the gun in my own mouth?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Anyway, our not heroes get into Sing Sing with no runtime padding issues other than this little hand rubbing guy informing the commissioner that at least one of the bus guys was involved in a prison break, so they seal off that part of the prison. Whoops, nobody thought to warn this idiot guard who was sitting entirely way too close to the prison bars with his back to them. He was just asking to get his neck snapped, or at minimum, his underwear wedgied. But okay, the deputy commissioner shows up and over the intercom is like, I'm sorry I made that big whoopsie that got you murdered. That was my bad. Can you forgive me, pretty please? Don't be a maniac cop.
Listen, Cordell, this is what you want.
Hey, you shut up.
And I think it works.
Come on, man. Where the you going?
At minimum, Cordell abandons whatever he was currently doing to randomly walk away and murder the 3 guys who murdered him back in the day, despite them setting him on fire. And I'm starting to worry that this movie's portrayal of CTE is not scientifically valid. But this series of actions is somehow considered a betrayal by Hairy Guy.
You're never my friend!
And the 2 of them fall out a wall into their bus, which explodes all to and probably kills Cordell for good this time, maybe? Really depends on how many times this movie is rented at Blockbuster. Cut to his funeral, where Cordell's being buried with honors because we all made a whoopsie way back when, you know.
There's a piece of Cordell in every cop.
Because all of us sort of hate the justice system and would rather just shoot dudes to death. Like, for example, me, who opened this movie.
There's only that much difference between a cop and a maniac cop.
So are you a maniac cop then? Is that what you're saying, Sean? For further context, I forgot to mention that Sean definitely convinced his suicidal cop partner friend to not get help, which led to his partner killing himself. And he also feels good about that. Also, is that a thing? Like, you keep saying maniac cop like that's a specific term. I don't think people say that. Then some kids start singing some nonsense rhyme while Cordell clearly comes back to life. Oh, shit. Guess he's still upset about the whole being betrayed and murdered thing. God, it's like, get over it, dude. He said he was sorry. We all have problems. None of us are perfect. You're being a real maniac cock.
It all comes down to justice. And
all right, sorry, I'm still hungry. So what? You want me to confess? Okay, fine. I spent a little bit of taxpayer money on Factor, and it was tasty and affordable, and it was not even too bad on me, like physically, because the calories are pretty low for what it is. It fits with a lot of diets, they say. Come on!
What are you doing down here?
A little Star Wars crawl catches us up on this series' expansive and twisted lore.
I knew you would return. I knew it.
And while I am saying it with a sarcastic tone, part of me does want to respect this movie for having something kind of approaching the continuity. Like, there are characters overlapping between the sequels and a kind of overarching theme, which, okay, mostly boils down to CTE gives you superpowers, but still, some movies, they don't have any themes at all. You know? Not the best theme, but it's a theme.
Just warming up.
Afterwards, we cut to, I think, Eric Adams chanting occult type at a severed head. We also get to see the final scene of the last movie. Mine.
This is getting deep.
I guess it's implied that Eric Adams' Weekend at Bernie's 2'd Cordell back to life by stabbing the severed head as one does. It's the first thing they teach you in zombie revival school. Well, that and don't fall in love with zombies because they'll break your heart and eat your brain.
Which one's worse? I don't know.
Once my heart's broken, you might as well eat my brain.
You might as well, yeah.
I'm basically dead. I suppose he hopes this will help him win re-election or something, which, you know, fine. Like this happens every third Friday the 13th movie. But it sort of retroactively implies, again, that Cordell officially was not dead in the first 2 movies, and just that the burning and exploding at the end of the second movie finished the job finally.
I'm still alive, only I'm very badly burned.
Forcing, you know, them to bring him back with voodoo or whatever. Because otherwise he brought himself back to life. But he didn't because he wasn't dead. Although I'm still genuinely curious how his brain deadness made it so that he couldn't feel all the bullets ripping his body apart all the time. Just wish we'd gotten a definitive answer on whether he was dead or alive. It's gonna haunt me harder than Cordell stalking a jaywalker. Or I guess more realistically, stalking the cop talking to a jaywalker. He seems to frame people almost as often as he dispenses justice directly. He's a complicated guy, that Cordell.
Please forgive whatever sins he may have committed.
Right. Please forgive the sin of murdering entire police precincts on 2 separate occasions, random innocent bystanders frequently, and dudes just trying to sell snack cakes. I think he kills something like 50 people in the first two movies?
You cannot sit in judgment of this man.
You sure about that?
Sorry, forgive me, pretty please. I did not mean to, I'm sorry. Oops, did I kill a cashier? Uh-oh, did I kill 30 police officers in a precinct? That's my bad, that's my fault. Sorry. It's crazy that he was buried with honors. He killed 30 people in a precinct. Well, he had a bad go of it. He was betrayed, so honestly, it was justified.
Any more than we might sit in judgment of those responsible for his false imprisonment and untimely demise.
So now Cordell's back just flapping his stick around the graveyard, which is a very Dave thing to do. Shit. This movie was directed by Alan Smithee, though secretly the same guy who did the first two. Guess Maniac Cop 3 didn't line up with the director's vision for what it should be. And actually, apparently the director and writer wanted the main character to be a black detective, but the Japanese financiers said, no way, bring back Sean. And they were like, but the script we have won't make sense. And the Japanese financiers were like, no, Sean, no deal. So they brought him back and the writer was like, if I have to write more, you have to pay me more. And the producers were like, lol, no. So the director had to make up filler scenes on the fly while filming, and honestly, that is just entirely too much bullshit to be dealing with just to direct friggin' Maniac Cop 3. Also, I'd like to imagine that the original black detective character had a dinosaur as a partner, or maybe they were a vampire, or maybe he was a vampire dinosaur. I'm just saying, there could have been a lot of really fun things in that script that we never got. They're like, it wouldn't make sense for a white cop to have a dinosaur cop as a partner. That doesn't make any sense at all. I have to rewrite my whole script.
But, you know, making stuff up on the fly, something we literally never do.
All the Japanese people on my Patreon, they don't get any say.
Anybody I know?
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, Japanese icon Sean hangs out in the shooting range that not that long ago was filled to the knees with blood of a half-dozen murdered cops of the non-maniac variety, while notably, he doesn't wear any ear protection.
I love the sound of gunfire.
Well, then you should wear ear protection, idiot. Soon you won't be able to hear shit. That's like saying you love the taste of razor blades, but not wearing a metal tongue condom. I think I landed that plane. He's joined by a new lady cop who keeps getting complaints for
excessive force.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, gender equality at last. Finally, a movie that acknowledges that women can be bad cops as well.
Why don't you out celebrate?
Don't feel like it.
Sean's like, well, you know, the best way to fix the excessive force accusations is to let rapists get a little further along in their raping.
Next time, wait a little longer. Then you can kill the bastard.
Great, yeah.
That is definitely some advice. No wonder Japan couldn't live without you, Sean.
She'd earned the nickname Maniac Kate.
That's an unfortunate nickname, though noticeably easier on the tongue than excessive force Katie. Sean heads to a nasty crime scene.
Some gruesome
where a guy's head has been cut off and a chicken shoved down the neck hole, which in police terms is known as the old cock in the throat.
Died with a smile on his face.
Well, yeah, he was choking his chicken. Sean thinks it's a cult
Ever since Cordell, it's been an interest of mine.
And a weird homeless chanting guy seems to confirm the suspicion. He claims the symbol on the ground nearby is the
symbol of anti-justice.
Antigus for short. At some pharmacy elsewhere in the city, a couple cops with extremely weird cop gun handling form get their asses handed to them by some tweaker guy with no apparent plan more complex than to shoot as many cops as he can, for he himself is killed like a guy finishing his GTA play session for the day with a rampage. Fun fact, Dave originally auditioned for the role and almost got it, but he then insisted on staying in character and method acting the cop killing, which honestly they were okay with, but then they found out he was Italian. They're like, we don't care they're gonna kill cops, but ew.
Casting room, walk in with a gun to the head of a cop.
They're like, I like this, and then you said, I'm gonna kill him like I killed me a spicy meatball, and they're like, no.
It's a me!
It's a me, Dave!
Get the f*** out of here.
See what you get?
Sorry. Unfortunately for the tweaker, Maniac Kate shows up to de-escalate the situation with a frickin' submachine gun. forcing him to retreat to the back and take a hostage, while unfortunately for her, a news team shows up to document everything that happened so great. Now she's gonna have to kill the whole news crew as well. She's gonna be here all night. Inexplicably, Maniac Kate's plan is to crawl up to the pharmacy's roof, drop some 20 feet down like mankind off Hell in a Cell, nearly break both of her legs, and then maintain zero actual advantage when the tweaker grabs the clerk hostage anyway. More like poor planner, Kate. Like, fundamentally, the dude is locked in with a hostage. You could theoretically wait all night for SWAT to show up unless you think the hostage is in immediate danger and you need to move quickly. But honestly, considering how many pills that guy's chugging, the best plan would be to just wait for him to OD and slump on the floor. But no, she risks a dead hostage and a dead herself and just blasts the tweaker guy, except... oh my God, 7-Eleven was an inside job, and the hostage also shoots her, so she's forced to shoot the hostage. She's taken to the hospital, but like this script, it is not looking good, and she is presumably diagnosed with terminal maniacness.
Get a priest.
Sean heads over there, and Kate's maniac mom is like, hey!
If the Lord calls her, make sure they let her go to him.
I know we don't know literally anything about what's happening with my daughter, but I just want you to know that I want my daughter pulled off life support if it comes to that.
I promise.
And the way she says this feels like she does this all the time. Like Kate goes in for a teeth cleaning and the mom is there to say, hey, if anything happens, she wants to be off life support. That's what she would want. I love her very much. I'm a good mom. And Sean's like, all right.
You telling me she's brain dead?
Well, then pull the plug. I'm so sad about this. Oh, by the way, do cop moms get their child's pension or their submachine gun or anything for their trouble? Just asking. Oh, can I be the one to actually pull the plug out of the socket? She would want that. My daughter loves when she told me she would want me to do that. Cordell, meanwhile, runs into Eric Adams, who's like, oh, hey, what's up, bro?
I'm the one responsible for your resurrection.
Thanks, honey. That's very woke of you.
Although, to be clear, you had to want to come back, which clearly you did. Anyway, you want to play Go Fish or something? I actually have no apparent plan for bringing you back to life in this film. I just did it because it's really hard to make friends in your 30s, and because I could.
Even I cannot overcome
feeling lonely.
I don't even have any snacks on hand. It's just going to be me tonight. I don't know.
I really didn't have anything planned, so we're just going to have to wing it.
Streaming hasn't even been invented yet. I feel like an idiot. On the news, it's clear the footage has been doctored to look like Kate just randomly blew away the hostage for no reason.
Which can only be described as a black rainbow of terror.
That's the only way to describe it? A black rainbow of terror? There are no other words for what happened? What the hell does that even mean? He's referring to a cop shooting a hostage. In what way is that a black rainbow of terror? Sounds like a panic headline Fox News would use about a gay black actor getting cast in something. Do you think that's a holdover from the original script?
Oh, you found it.
That's bullshit.
The point is, now there's going to be an internal investigation, but at no point will the investigators ask for the uncut footage. That would be way too easy, and detectives don't want easy answers. Oh, also the tweaker named Jessup didn't die, which sucks for me because he played Freddy in the Elm Street remake, and I hate that guy.
Remember me?
This is Bill Bear.
That's definitely not how you'd say that. I mean, talk about brain damage, am I right? We have fun here. We then cut to the world's most maniac judge, who hits the gavel like way too hard, as if he moonlights as a medieval blacksmith. And we again see Cordell's murder, but it's now edited to make it look like the specific murder he had a problem with was the firebombing from the last movie. Just sort of a weird conflation. But I guess it makes it simpler for people who randomly saw Maniac Cop 3 in the Blockbuster bin and thought it'd be a perfect place to start their binge of the series. Cordell heads to the hospital to do some maniac murder justice, probably, and a weird guy mocks him, so he's hucked in the air and shot with skeet. Oh, sorry, shot like skeet. Although, have you ever tried to shoot skeet with skeet? Because if you could do that, I think you'd become a president. If you could shoot skeet out of the air with your skeet, I would follow that man anywhere.
Yeah, that's it.
He then walks into the hospital, but as far as I can tell, like a full 24 hours go by before he does anything. Has he just been chilling in the bathroom this whole time, making poop noises? Somebody else walks in. He's like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in here for a long time. Wow. Maybe he lost track of time checking out copies of Reader's Digest in the lobby. Maybe he's been stealing a sleep patient's Jell-O and he got hooked. Walks in at night. And then it's like a full day goes by, and then at the next night he attacks. I don't know, but the next day, Sean's told Jessup is suing the city for being so boring that he had no choice but to get high and take some hostages.
He's got himself a case, man.
Oh no, he's actually suing about the shooting thing. And to be fair, it turns out that Maniac Kate was using hollow point bullets, which are illegal despite them being great for duck hunting. Because a lot of ducks nowadays wear Kevlar. I bet you didn't know that.
Every hitter out there's got that and more. What are we supposed to fight them back with, huh? Pop guns?
Honestly, Kate seems kind of like an idiot. Those points are as hollow as her head. Like, best case scenario, she kills Jessup and the hostage wasn't doing an inside job, and then the investigators would still be like, what the f***? You used hollow points? And then she'd still be suspended or fired or thrown in jail. Maybe her mom's right. Maybe we should just let her slip away. Especially considering she's mostly just dreaming about marrying Cordell. Ew.
You know that, I know that, she knows that.
But Sean heads upstairs to threaten Jessup.
Now, I want you to mull this over.
And also meet Jessup's sexy doctor and threaten her virginity with his hollow point. And he's about to call in a bunch of favors to get her virginity arrested and then murder it in the shower. Metaphorically, cop foreplay is like so hot. It's all this like, I'm a crooked cop. And by that I mean my penis goes kind of like this.
Then I'm gonna have to ask you to stay away from my pussy!
But you gotta be careful because anything you say during sex with a cop can be used against you in a court of law. If you have to have sex with a cop, make sure to only scream out alibis like, on the night of June 11th, I was at the movies with some friends. I can account for everywhere I was that night.
Maybe I stepped out of line back there. I don't know anymore.
Although, wait, maybe she's not a virgin because she used to be with this other hot doc who she asked to do another brain scan on Maniac Kate, and he's like, nah, too expensive, and she didn't have much going on in there to begin with.
It's a waste of a bed. She's Gumby.
Gee. So he heads off to eat some nurse out in the doctor's lounge and get electrocuted to death by Maniac Human Resources Representative Cordell. This hospital is crazy. Grey's Anatomy can eat crap. Lady Doctor, who probably has a name, sees Cordell and tries to follow him into the hospital catacombs, but she's stopped by, I think, Bob Marley.
What are you doing down here?
Rude boy. She eventually learns her ex is dead.
How do you deal with pain?
And Sean's like, oh, I got you.
Chocolate, made ice cream.
Oh, okay, that's actually reasonably, if you're gonna have a vice, that one's not too bad. Pretty cheap, too. I think we need more movies where the grizzled detective isn't so much an alcoholic as an absolute fiend for Ben & Jerry's.
Oh, those sweet little cinnamon buns of yours are gonna be fish food.
Works every time.
Sean himself heads down to the hospital catacombs to see if he can dodge Bob Marley and find an actual plot and or Cordell down there, but he ends up in a weird abandoned church and meets Eric Adams.
Razor of the dead.
And as of this writing, a scammer of meme coin investors in real life, at least. Why would you ever buy a meme coin? People are so weird.
Does that happen to include desecration of corpses and stuffing them with dead chickens?
It's a great deal of pride.
And for no apparent reason, Eric Adams assures Sean that Cordell's life, well, it actually sucks.
That must be the most cruel injustice of all.
So I again ask, why did you raise him from the dead? What were your reasons for doing so?
I am not a priest.
Wait, what?
I know it's hard to make friends in middle age, but there have got to be easier ways. Or at least raise up somebody cooler. Like the murder cop was the best you could do. Zombie Hendrix could have gotten you laid and taught you guitar. But then he shows Sean a newspaper clipping that implies Sean was also involved in framing Cordell back in the day for some reason. And geez, how many people were in on this? It's still unclear why Eric Adams cares about that, but he does. Back at the hospital, a guy from the city tries to convince another doctor to just go ahead and kill Kate already.
That's the letter of consent.
Signed by the mother.
After all, her mom's very on board. Plus, people like Dave will pay a premium for her feet. And the doctor's like, sure.
I can handle this afternoon.
In exchange for next tickets, of course.
Center court, floor, right next to Pat Riley. How's that sound?
Perfect.
Honestly, I would have expected more pushback. I don't think I'd like to be treated in this hospital. But of course, before he can kill his patient, Cordell kills him with an x-ray machine, which is probably brutal, but not as much as being a Knicks fan. And also, it's a great way to see if you still had any Legos stuck up your butt or whatever before you died. Like, at least you get to learn something. There's my car keys. Right? Dave? I'm not alone in this. Elsewhere, the asshole news guys are like, man, should we have not framed a cop for literally no reason? Nah.
Gotta look at it this way. Cop brutality sells.
They rush to the aftermath of a drive-by shooting of a child and interview the kid's brother, but he's like a real downer and no good for prime time.
Well, life's a bitch, huh, man?
Before realizing, oh wait, everybody here is dead as shit. Oh no, including us! Ah! Cordell then leaves the full Maniac Cop tape on the seat of some random car because no one gets to frame other cops except for him. And it's immediately discovered by Sean, who's like, ha ha!
It was an inside job.
This fully exonerates Kate. I mean, at least partially. Like, she's still insanely reckless and using illegal bullets, but at least she was justified in murdering a hostage, sort of. So that's good. Cordell kills a couple cops, as he often does, and frees Jessup and the other nearby criminals, and he gives Jessup a gun because, well, you know, justice, I guess. Why does Cordell do anything? Why free criminals? Just like, what is your theme? That's what every other serial killer in these movies does.
Maybe it's like a Sun Tzu thing where it's supposed to be like chaotic. Nobody can expect what you're going to do next.
Well, he is Japanese.
Close enough.
Jessup is unaware that his lawyer has accepted a sweetheart deal as well as a sweetheart sexual proposition.
Maybe you and I can have a cocktail of our own and
Take you home and eat your pussy.
So he shoots her dead on sort of accident.
Great, I shot my lawyer.
While that chaos unfolds, Cordell's plan finally comes into focus. He's looking for that maniac puss to cure his NYPD blue balls. And Eric Adams just wanted to help. That's very kind of him. That guy died, but I don't think he was laid enough in life. I'm gonna bring him back to life.
So you're a cool priest, are you?
I am not a priest.
Cordell picks up his corpse bride and drags her down to Adams so he can officiate. Is he ordained? Do cult churches have seminaries? Do you need an Orthodox priest if you're both dead? Is this legally binding? Does Kate have to convert to maniac orthodoxy first?
She will not allow it.
I don't know, but Sean takes out Jessup and the boys with the most insane possible strategy outside of a John Woo film. He pretends to be a dead body on a rolling gurney covered by a bedsheet, and then he pops out at the last second to blast everybody.
Yo, dude, yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Gurneys are like very much built for maneuverability, not for like straight line speed. He's like slamming into every wall on the way down. Who even pushed him down the hallway?
He does a thing where he like pushes it first and then runs and tries to dive into the under.
Falls off.
Just biffs. The sun is also gloriously highlighting your crotch right now.
Well, I guess maybe Hot Doc pushed him because all this blasting has got her horned up.
Then I guess dinner's out of the question.
But before they can go to dinner on each other's private parts, Sean learns Kate's been taken, so the two of them head back to the catacombs. I can't stress enough how weird it is that there are catacombs underneath this hospital. In there, they discover that Kate is on an altar and being resurrected for maniac marriage. I guess!
Your path has reached its end.
Sean tries to convince Cordell to not do whatever this is.
Let her go, Mac.
But I honestly don't understand why Cordell doesn't just blow him away right there. He thinks Sean betrayed him, right? I don't know. But apparently Kate's got the same cold feet that Dave's anime pillow had on their wedding day.
I cannot recover this soul.
So Cordell shoots Eric Adams, which results in a full-on shootout, and Cordell catches fire again. You can't keep getting away with it. And he tries to carry Kate's body outside for some reason, but instead they like Dave's anime body pillow. Obviously. That's why most bodies expel excrement when they die, because otherwise they might explode. But Cordell's been holding on to most of his poop, and Kate wasn't technically dead yet, so they were both full of poop, and that's why they exploded. Sean hops in the back of an ambulance car with Hot Doc, but they're attacked by because he's still on fire, Cordell, who actually is pretty hard to see. Sean shoots him like 30 times, even though that's never worked in the history of this series. Maybe you should try shooting his tires or something. I hate that! Cordell's holding on tight to their car and just shoving other cars out of the way with his hands, apparently. So Sean hucks an oxygen tank in the backseat of Cordell's burning car, and then he kind of takes his vehicle off a limp little jump, which cuts off Cordell's arm, and then he explodes again. How many times is this guy gonna explode?
I figure on at least 1,000.
But this time, oh, it takes. Like that old saying, second time's the charm if you're trying to blow up a zombie. cop in lieu of a wedding. So Sean lights a ciggy with Cordell's still burning severed arm. Badass! Japan really got their yens worth out of Sean with that part. 20 Oscars for this movie, please. Oh no, except then Cordell's brought to a morgue that's suspiciously lacking in exposed titties. Is this even a real morgue? All real morgues have just boobs out everywhere. I'm sort of worried that this is like a... It's like an organ farm or something. Oh wait, actually, I know for a fact that Kate has some titties. And anyway, he and burned-ass Kate appear to hold hands for a second. Wow. Who would have thought that this series would end on true, eternal, can't be stopped with explosions love? Ah, powerful, poignant, manic. Wait, why did they call this installment Badge of Silence? Oh wait, I don't give a shit. I don't care. All right, I'm done. That's gotta be enough. That's gotta be enough.
I cannot.
Okay, so are you saying that your problem is not so much that you're upset about my corrupt eating of Factor, which, again, I'm not gonna stop. I can't stop. But you're more upset that you just haven't found love? I could be your friend. Sorry, I just had to be sure. You wanna grab a beer or something? Maybe eat a couple more Factors?
Smells like crime. And butter mushroom smells like crime. And mushroom smells like crime. And mushroom smells like crime. And truffle butter chicken mushroom risotto. Smells like crime.